before we get started, I want to show you a little hobby that I've picked up. I want to show you a little hobby that I picked up. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to hide that little browser. Okay. So my little hobby that I've picked up, I've done it for the past few days. I've not done it today, so we could do it together. Put myself in the corner, bring up the browser. My hobby involves Wikipedia. Now, if you don't know, Wikipedia has an On This Day section here. And it's also on the Wikipedia app on your phone. And you can click on the day of the year, so April 27th. And you can read about what happened on the 27th of April, as far back as Wikipedia can date things. And I think it's so interesting. Now, here, it's all just text, but you do get like little thumbnails on the phone. Let me grab my phone. I think it's genuinely interesting. I'm trying to replace my morning doom scroll with this. So if I click on more on this day, so here, you can see it's a bit more nicely formatted with thumbnails and so on for the mobile viewer. That one actually doesn't have a thumbnail. I've got to be careful because one time I was on the bus reading about what happened that day and a swastika just scrolled through on the screen. If I scroll back far enough, I'm sure it won't be anything too bad. But yeah, you can see you can see what happened to leaders and so on, and places and cities and go on. Hi Crambug, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about my little... Is it good morning for you? Is it really that early? It's 6 p.m. for me. It's dinner time. I'm just talking about my little hobby here. I've just gone over what I've done for the past 3 days. Had a very busy 3 days. You wake up at 12 and 1 p.m. Okay. So good. It's still good afternoon. You can't say good morning just to feel like you woke up in the morning. You didn't. You gotta own up to that fact. So if you don't know Groundbug, I've had a very lovely past few days. I joined a trans group. I went to a trans protest. I went to a bar. I saw a female-only performance group. I've had a lovely past few days. It's been so much fun. I've hugged so many people over the past few days. You know, I love physical touch. I really do. And to hug so many people over these past few days, it's made my heart very, very happy. If you can't see, I've got shiny lips. I've got some shiny lips on today. Oh, actually, I got to talk about... So obviously, with the protests, there were counter-protesters, right? And but they weren't too bad. What was worse for me is when I was heading home, I was holding a sign that I had at the protest. And the amount of people who stared, pointed, commented. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it, you know? I got, let me try and think back. I got, oh look, he's trans, you know? I got, nice hair, mate. I got, cut your hair, mate. A lot of things about the hair, you know? Why? Like, I spent a lot of money on these. Comment on these, you know? It's like, come on. Whatever. Anyway, so this is my little hobby that I've picked up recently. I go onto the On This Day section of Wikipedia. I normally do it on my phone. They're jealous they can't have cool hair, but they can. They can. They just won't let themselves. They can have cool hair. I have boring hair underneath this. Look, it's just boring and brown. Look at that. But I've got cool pink hair on top. I've got boring skin under this, but I've got cool breasts on top. Anyway, let me move on. So, looking for the chat on screen. Oh, actually, I've just seen your why have I got the development on? I've just seen your bits icon there. I fixed the bits, so if you donate, they will actually show up as Windows XP things. If you donate. So thank you so much for having done that in the past, but I finally fixed the bits. Anyway, so let's have a look. Let's have a read what went on today. Philip the Arab Marks the millennium of Rome. A millennium of Rome, really? So Rome had been around 1,000 years? Yeah, Rome's first millennium. Well, why are we down here? This didn't feel... I feel like Rome's first millennium... Ah, here we go. Yeah. Rome's first millennium. That's so cool. I know someone who will want to hear that. I know someone who will want to hear that. Bear with me. I got to share this with someone. See, this is why it's interesting. Wikipedia is so cool. I love Wikipedia. Let me post it in this history channel here. Anyway, sorry. Getting distracted. Let's have a read. What else happened today? This is how I figured out what day it is. The First War of Scottish Independence. Scottish army is defeated by an English army. Boo! Let them have their independence, you stinky English. Places the Italian side of Venice under interdict. What does interdict mean? Prohibits certain persons or groups from participating in rights. Oh, that doesn't sound good, does it? A lot of history is very, very nasty. They don't celebrate, you know, a cat's birthday on Wikipedia, do they? But it's interesting, you know, to see. If you don't learn history, it's bound to be repeated, you know. That's what they say. The relics of Saint Sava are incinerated. Wow, what is that? Like, what's the difference between incinerate and the relics? Relics. I thought I was reading remains. Wow. Okay, so like. No earthly property for you, Mr. Saint. Is there a reason for that? I don't know. 1601 to 1900. Let's have a look. Oh, another one. Royalist army invades mainland Scotland. Boo! Defeated by a Covenanter army. There we go. Covenanter, whatever. Paradise Lost. I've heard of that book before. Paradise Lost, an epic poem in a blank verse. Blind and impoverished, and he wrote a poem. What have you done? I've not wrote a poem. My my legal surname actually is you know how they have like Baker as a surname, and that goes back to someone being a baker. That's what my legal surname is. It's a rhymer, a person who rhymes, a person who makes poems. It's not rhymer, but you know that's it. It was rhymer at some point. I think that's interesting. American troops capture Yorkshire. No, Upper Canada, in the Battle of York. That's not the Battle of York I'm thinking of. Let's see what else. 1901 to present. Okay, so we're getting. Ooh, German troops enter Athens. Oh dear. Got to be careful with World War II stuff. You never know what Twitch will be like. Excuse me, you can't talk about that. History's got to be censored. It can't be talked about that. It's not advertiser friendly. A tornado! Where? A tornado 1 year ago today. The worst day of the tornado outbreak. Wow. 42 tornadoes! Jesus Christ! If I looked on the horizon and I saw more than one tornado, I would think that's just the apocalypse. That's it. That's just life ending. You know? I've never actually seen a tornado. No, that's not true. I've seen a tornado off the shore in Greece once. That's it. That's the only tornado I've ever seen. Okay, let's get away from real world news. That's a bit depressing. But yeah, I think it's just super interesting to go to Wikipedia each day and look at what's happened. It's a really interesting way to learn about history, I think. And that's what I've been doing. Instead of my morning doom scroll, looking at real world news, I go back in time and look at old world news. I think that's really interesting, and I would recommend it. Get the Wikipedia app and go to the On This Day section each morning. It's so much better than depressing yourself.